My life's work has really been to walk alongside those who have been invisible for generations, those who have experienced violence, those who have perpetuated violence, and to make the case that people can change and that we can transform our lives and that it's value. It's not once a gang member, always a gang member.
When I was growing up, it wasn't too much to do but to play sports and gangbang. So what did I do? Play sports and gangbang. My name is Andre Vickers, and I am the lead CIW community intervention worker. A gang intervention worker is usually an ex-gang member and wants to do the opposite of what they was doing. As an interventionist, my job is to de-escalate anything that escalates. We stop retaliation. We get up in there because we come from there. I'm able to talk to the shooters and tell them, look, man, put that thing down. We get our communities and other communities to put the guns down and talk about it and work it out another way. The majority of interventionists is ex-gang members. When I joined the gang, it wasn't nobody out there saying, don't join the gang. So that wasn't even an option. Now that we're out there saying that it's an option, I'm gonna keep giving them the best positive view that I can, and hopefully they choose. And if they do choose the gangbanging road, then I'm gonna stay on them. I'm gonna be there with them until we walking right up out of it. Now for an ex-gang member to get out there with a rep, with an LTO, it helps because, and they can take it better because it's me. It's somebody that they know, they color, you know what I'm saying, telling them, hey man, this ain't cool. And not only I'm telling you it ain't cool, I can tell you why.
Part of UPI's role is to change the narrative about how people who have been formerly incarcerated or former gang members are valued, and provide pathways, creating a role and a space for them to come back, to give back to the communities.
This should be a field of work where others would see these credible messengers who have been parts of their community as professionals.
But also understanding that in this service field, intervention workers, crisis responders, outreach workers are just as necessary, just as critical as a mental health clinician or a social worker. That all of these different crafts are necessary, so how do we help our workers develop theirs?
You're not gonna get rich in this program, trust me. You're not gonna get rich doing this job, you're not gonna have a mansion on the hill, right? But you're gonna be able to save some people. You'll be able to touch some lives.
The Urban Peace Institute is a recognized leader in community safety, systems reform, and just policing to end violence and mass incarceration. We work to transform communities and individuals. Particularly here in LA, we certify all city contracted gang intervention workers. It's a 140-hour training that focuses on 3 areas: the personal, the practical, and the conceptual. What does it take to be a peacemaker? How do you transform from someone who has been formerly incarcerated, someone who is a former gang member, to become a peacemaker?
We just need to be the examples of how to change and how we can change, because a lot of us can change. We've changed. We went from gangbanging to helping these kids and doing what we do in the neighborhood, always promote peace.
I need to know where that heart at when you're doing this work right here, because that's what makes the difference. Once your heart kick in, it ain't nothing else to think about. Because some of the stuff we do saves generations sometimes.
The intervention workers themselves said, hey, it's really important for us to have our perspective, but we also need academics, we need other professionals to contribute.
How do you teach those folks, and how do you bring professionalism into folks that many times are educated by the streets, right? And this provides the opportunity to marry those two.
Before I came here, I thought I knew it all. And then coming to UPI really let you know that, hey man, you don't know nothing yet. Because if you can't professionalize it.
What the UPI team has been able to clearly define for us is prevention, intervention, and violence interruption. Those things help us understand who's working in that lane and who has the license to operate in that lane.
You cannot be an intervention without coming through UPI. You cannot do it. You know what I'm saying? It's impossible. I thought I could. Remember, everybody was like, man, you ain't did this yet. Man, I don't need this. I ain't gonna learn nothing in this thing. As soon as I walked in, I started learning. So yeah, you need this, man. This is where all the forefathers, the people that started interventions that's been up in this room and they done sat down and they done hammered stuff out, came up with a curriculum. They done did this. It look professional because it is professional. It sound professional because it is professional. I am a professional interventionist worker. That's my ID over there, right? I put on that ID every day. Yeah, man, because it makes me proud to do what I'm doing. To start, it been real hard, but now, since they seeing everything and everything is clicking, oh, it's real easy now. I get a whole lot of pats on my backs. Thank you, man. I'm glad you're doing what you're doing. So that's the payoff for all the rough stuff that we went through to become an interventionist. It's a must. It works. It saves lives. And it saved my life right now, because most likely I'll be even in jail or dead if I was doing what I used to do.
If the goal is to reduce homicides, to have zero gun violence homicides, then we have a lot of work to do. And that is not gonna happen by osmosis. It's gonna be intentional, it's gonna be direct, and it's gonna be with people that understand what it takes to reach that population. And UPI clearly is that population.
We've been planting seeds for the last decade in cities across the country, and we're now starting to see them sprout. And it's a beautiful thing to see how the Academy has grown and evolved, and the potential for a national platform.
Communities want to be part of the solution. They don't want to be recipients of safety, they want to be creators of safety.
Like I say, I used to want to be a gang member when I grew up, and I succeeded. And I was successful, I thought, right? I wanted to go to the penitentiary. I went to the pen. I wanted to get shot. I got shot. So, you know what I'm saying? It worked out fine for me until I had kids. Until I had kids, and I was like, oh, what about them? What about their future? You know, it became real life to me. So, yeah, mission accomplished. Wanted to be a ganger. Now, my second life, I want to be a peacemaker. And that's what I'm going to do. That's what I've been doing.